Hi guys, welcome to my channel Vinyl Beauty, or welcome back. I'm Debbie if you don't know me. So for today's video, I've done a little bit of shopping at Melt in their 50% off sale that they had recently, and I thought I could show you the haul of what I bought and then we could do a bit of a try on of the products. So I did a bit of damage actually, because Melt are one of my favourite brands. They are pretty expensive, but 50% off obviously makes them a lot more affordable, and so I got very tempted. So we've got all of this to go through. I've got a palette, I've got a blush, a highlight, a bronzer and 3 lipsticks. So I'll show you those up super close, and then we're just going to create a look using these products. So if that sounds good to you, let's just hop straight into the video. Okay guys, so the first thing I picked up was another one of the digital dust highlighters, because I love these. I've got 2 of them already. I've got Pink Moon, which as the name suggests is like a pinky shade, and I've got Genesis, which on me is a blush because it's kind of a coppery bronzy sort of shade. But I wanted this one, which is in the shade Stargazer. That's the outer packaging, and that's the colour. It's perfect for me. It's just like that pearl kind of shade. I'm super pale, so that's going to work really well just as a neutral kind of highlighter. And I love the formula of these, that kind of baked formula. They're really nice. So I was excited to pick up the shade that I was looking for and to find it at half price, because whenever I've gone to get this one, it's either out of stock or it's full price. So happy with that. I've also picked up one of the ultra matte bronzers. So that's the packaging for that. Now I don't own many bronzers because I'm a little bit scared of bronzer. Being so pale as I am, bronzer just looks a bit weird on me sometimes, but really wanted to try this. It's gorgeous packaging, very reflective. But it's in the shade Santa Barbara. When I opened it I was like, oh wow, this is quite dark compared to me. But I have kind of swatched it a little bit and I think it's going to be okay. You can sheer it out quite well, I think. So I'm excited to give this a go. As I say, you can probably count on one hand the amount of bronzers I've got, and I never use them, but I just love Melt, as I say, and I just was eager to try their formula. And then I picked up a blush. Now I know I love these. This is in the Blushlight formula, so it's a powder blush, and this is the shade I picked up. It's called Nevermore, and I thought this was the perfect neutral kind of pinky blush, nothing too out there. I do own another one of these, as I say, and I love it, but it's very statement. So I'll show you the one that I already own, which is this one, which is Fire Fury. So I do love this one, but I have to go in with a very light hand, and I wanted one that I can use just every day, you know, that's easy to apply. So yeah, excited for that. And then I've picked up a palette. This is the Brunet palette. Everything I'm showing you today is super reflective, not easy to show you on camera. This is the palette. Really gorgeous packaging, as Melt always is. Now, if you've been here before, you know, as I say, that Melt is one of my favourite brands, and I've been trying to collect all of their palettes, and there's not many I don't own. In fact, there was only this one and the Blueprint. Now, I already own all the stack for the Blueprint, so I thought it was not worth buying that, but decided to buy this, which is really neutral for me, but decided to get it because I don't own too many completely neutral palettes, and I'm a completionist anyway. I just wanted this because it's Melt. So we're going to play with that today and do a neutral look, very caramel toned. And the last thing I picked up was 3 of their lipsticks. I love their bullet lipstick formula. And more than loving the formula, I love the smell and taste of them. They're like candy. They're just, oh, gorgeous. Even my husband, I was showing him these and he was like, oh, the smell of those, they're really nice. So yeah, they're definitely, if you don't like scented products or products with a taste to them, you wouldn't like them, but they're quite long lasting and have some really cool colours as well. So all the ones I own currently are in their older packaging, and these are in that packaging where it's like, I love that, you know, simple things, but where it's like magnetic closure. This one's in the shade Double D's, and that's the shade. Lovely imprints on these as well. That's probably the one I'm going to use today, I think. I also got Laced. That one's interesting, very unusual tone to that one. Don't own many new lipsticks, I'm excited for that. And then I've got Last Kiss, which is a bit more of a Debbie sort of lipstick, I think. And this one's like a muted rose, red, pink kind of shade. When you see it in real life, it looks a lot more pinky toned on camera, but really pretty. So I've already done my base makeup, a tiny bit of contour using the Lunatick Labs Cosmetic Book 1. And I'm going to go in with the Santa Barbara bronzer. find a scary looking bronzer here, but as I say, I think it's going to be fine. I'm going to go in with a pretty light hand to start with. It's actually really pretty. It's giving me quite a glow. This will be lovely for summer. The formula's really nice. If I do any sort of bronzer, it's normally the baked bronzer stick from Milk Makeup, because that really blends into your skin and it's a pale colour. Or I use the Hoola Light bronzer from Benefit, or I've got Shady Biz from Fenty Beauty. That one's a good one on me as well. But as I say, I don't bronze very often because I'm a very pale girl. But actually, I don't think this looks too bad at all. For summer and wanting a bit of a glow, I think I could be persuaded to use this. And as I say, the formula is blending really, really nicely. Don't think it looks too bad at all. Yeah, definitely like that. These Blushlight blushes, I'm going in with that next, are so nice. They're a little bit of like a hybrid between a blush and a highlight. Like, they are glowy, but they're not sparkly or anything like that. Just really, really pretty on the cheeks. As I say, this is like quite a neutral sort of colour, really pretty colour. Nothing crazy, and I think I'll get a lot of wear out of this one. But this is one I could wear on nights out with hubby, where he likes me to wear a bit more normal makeup, shall I say, not like wild. You know, it's pretty enough for that, and yeah, it's really glowy, which I like. And then we're quite shiny already, I think, quite glowy. But I'm going to go in with the highlight anyway. As I say, this is just going to be a champagne sort of highlight, one that will go with everything, which I think I'll get heaps of use out of, because at the moment I've been going for a bit more subtle highlights, like not quite so sparkly or coloured highlights like I've been favouring in the past. I've been going for something a bit more like this, or the ones from Hourglass are nice as well, where it really melts into the skin and looks like just a shine rather than actually seeing the glitter particles on your face. I do like glittery highlights as well, but it's what I've been going for lately, and I think that's really pretty. Just to dampen that bronzer down a tad, I'm going in with my MAC powder. I'm just putting some of that underneath because I have gone a little bit too low, because I'm not a bronzer expert by any means. Got some pan starting to show in this powder. I love this powder, but I have had it for about 5 years and I've used it practically every day for the last year. Things last so much longer than you think they're going to. Okay, from the palette then, I've already primed with the Sigma eyeshadow base in Persuade, and I'm going to go in with Cork as like a transition shade. I'm taking that all the way through my crease and fairly high. When doing neutral makeup, I do tend to do more of a transition shade, whereas I never do if I'm doing, or very rarely do, if I'm doing a colourful look. It's just something to blend into, and I think works really well with neutrals. That's a nice shade as well. It's the right kind of tone for me for a transition shade. So how have you guys been? I've had a 3-day weekend and filmed on Friday the collab that went up today. Today's Sunday the 5th as I'm filming this. Filmed a collab on Friday with my friend Jane Wilkes. I'll link that if you want to see it. Completely different type of look to the look I'm doing now, because I did a very creative and almost goth inspired look in that one. But I love all different types of makeup, so if you came over from Jane's collab with me then, and you're goth, you know, this might not be the sort of makeup you like, but I just like everything. I like to be a makeup chameleon and change up my look with my makeup. Alright, I think that's blended out super nice and looks pretty. I'll take a Morphe M506. They're all falling apart, my brushes. I need more brushes. I'm going to go in with the shade Tan. So on that Friday I'd planned to film 2 or 3 videos, get myself like a little bit more ahead of myself, because I'm always chasing my tail because I never really devote enough time to filming and I don't know, I'm tired in the week, never want to do it then, and then the weekends, if I do go out and do anything else, then sometimes it'll fall by the wayside and I don't get to do it. So I thought, right, I've got Friday off, let's film 2 or 3 videos. And I'd film the video with Jane, and then I was like, I'll just give myself like half an hour break, have a coffee, put the telly on. That was fatal, because then I found this show on Amazon and it was released on Friday, and it's called Daisy Jones and the Six, and it's about a rock band, fictional rock band, but kind of based on the story of Fleetwood Mac, very loosely. It's as I say, it's based on a book, this series, and it's been bought by Reese Witherspoon's production company. And I'd never heard of the book or anything, but oh, it's just so good. So it's starting off, it's kind of done in documentary style, so it's like 20 years later when the band has broken up. You get to know that they break up acrimoniously, and they're telling in flashback the story, and then you go back to the 70s. And I love 70s music, I love Fleetwood Mac, I love things like folk music like Carole King. I just love the whole vibe of the 70s fashion, so I was hooked. There's 3 shows out so far, so I binge watched all of those, and then I was like, I'm not going to film anything now because it's just too late and I'm not in the mood. Alright, need to get something on the lower lash line. I think I will go with that tan shade and just run a little bit of that on the lower lash line. I'm going to go for quite a smoky look, even though it's going to be neutral. So I watched that and the music's just so good from it, and then I went on Spotify just to see if like there was any songs from it I could just stream, and then I found out there's an album. It's called Aurora, so I ordered that on vinyl and it's coming today. I'm stalking the Amazon mailman now because that's coming, and I've also ordered Blue Banisters from Lana Del Rey, which I wanted for a while. So yeah, really excited. I'm really starting to get into music again in a lot bigger way, and listening to a lot more different people rather than just Barbara, which I love, but yeah, really expanding again and playing different things. It's been great. Alright, we want some depth in the outer corner now, so I'm going to go in with the deepest shade in the palette, which is Brunet here. I'm going to pack that in the outer corner. I think this palette could do with an even deeper shade. Like if we didn't have, say, Buff, don't think we need that. I'm quite happy to have that shade, didn't need that one. Could have slid them all up a bit, and then we could have had a deep chocolate brown, and that would have made it the perfect neutral palette then for me. And this is neutral, it's not warm tones or cool tones, it is like perfectly neutral, which, as I say, I don't have much of. I've got their Rust palette, which is very warm toned, very beautiful. There's some cool tones in the 27 palette, and I've got the Mary Jane, which is a lot cooler as well, but I think this one has its place because it is neutral in tone. I think that's about as deep as I'm going to get it. I'm going to run that shade close to my lower lash line as well. I might go in with a black pencil in the waterline just to amp up the drama of it. This is a really easy formula to work with. I think neutrals always are a lot easier to work with though. Some melt mattes can be fallout heavy and powdery, and these are really not, so yeah, I really like this formula. I watched a few videos before buying it, and everyone that had tried it, there didn't seem to be too many reviews out there of it, but everyone that had tried it was saying how good it was, and I think it just didn't get as much recognition in the makeup world that I'm a part of because of it being so neutral. I saw Heather Austin did a review of it. I love her channel for reviews. She loves all different types of makeup as well, as I do. I'll link that video actually because it was such a good review of the palette, and it's kind of what made me decide to buy it. So now I just want to kind of connect in this outer corner with that lower lash line. So we're not going in for anything crazy, but I still want it fairly dramatic and pigmented because that's what I like. Right, for shimmers we've got 3 options. There's 3 shimmers in here. Kind of tempted to go with this one here, which is called Bourbon. I think I might go with that, the more goldy tone. I think it might match my hair. So I'm going to go in NYX Glitter Primer, of course. Not looking for anything cut crease-ish or anything like that. Just giving the shimmer something to adhere to there. I think I'm pretty much going to put that shimmer everywhere we've not got shadow rather than multiple shimmers on the lid. Keep it simple today. Kind of a look I could do if I was in a hurry is what I'm after. Oh, bourbon's picking up super nice on a brush. Oh, that's so pretty. See, with melt, you never know what you're going to get with their shimmers. Sometimes they're not that impactful. Always quite rich in tone, I think, but they're not always as impactful. But this has got some glints to it, really pretty. Don't know how well that's coming out on camera, but it's rich and gold and, yeah, quite special, I think. Going all the way into the inner corner there. I'm just going to take a bit of Brunet, the deeper shade, and just run that through my crease. Just want a bit more drama, a bit more tan as well. Yeah, I'm happier now. It's got a bit more smokes to the look now. Okay, just going to catch up the other eye. Way in the corner, I'm going to go in with this shade Musk here. I'm just going to wrap that around onto my lower lash line as well, just to give us a pop of brightness in the inner corner. That's a nice shimmer as well. Just taking it slightly onto the lid there, just to blend it in with that shade we've already laid down, the bourbon shade. Just make it a little bit more cohesive. So that's the look so far. I'm going to hop off camera for something in my waterline. I'm going to do a wing with this Melt Gel Liner in the shade Burnish, mascara and a lip, and I'll be back with you to show you the finished look. Okay guys, so this is the finished look and oh, I just love it. It's not often that I do a completely neutral look. I'm more of a colourful shadows girl, but there's something about this palette, it's special. It's got like that sultry sexiness about it, and yeah, I just love the whole look. That lipstick, Double D's, it's got a lot more richness and like milk chocolate about it than it looks pops in the bullet, and I think it's the perfect shade to go with the eye look for a monochromatic but neutral look. The palette I think is fabulous, as I say. It's easy to use, it's got a really nice formula. I just would have liked a bit more depth. I've got a bit more depth out of it by using that Burnish gel liner in the corners, but a shade like a really like dark chocolate kind of shade. And as I say, I don't think we needed two light shades here, so either one of those could have gone for my money. I don't ever really need like that bone shade or perhaps the one next to it, so either one of those could have gone. Just slide everything up a bit and fit in a nice deep chocolate shade and it would have been my perfect neutral palette. But the formula's fabulous. There's no fallout from it. The shimmer just went on just like butter, just beautiful. And it's got such a nice gleam to it. It's not one of these shifty shadows that everybody loves, but it's the sort of shimmer that I love. Not showing up too much texture, easy to pick up on a brush, but something a bit rich and a bit special about it. I think the bronzer, blush and highlight were all fabulous too. I already knew that I loved the Blushlight formula. The highlight's such a gorgeous shade. I've got to get a bit better with my bronzer application. I've gone a bit too far down, but I still think it's a good colour for me and I can make it work. So overall, I'm really happy with my haul and I just love Melt. I just enjoy playing with their products so much. I'm always inspired by them. I love the packaging. I don't even mind paying a little bit more for them because I love them so much. But it's great to get things in a sale, isn't it? So particularly if you're in the UK, got some advice for you if you're shopping Melt. Don't buy it on Beauty Bay. I would say wait until there's a sale on the Melt website. They sometimes do completely free shipping with no spend limit, but they always do. If you spend over $100, you get free shipping, which, you know, a lot of indie companies don't do that. So that's what I do. I wait until there's a sale, spend over the $100 and stock up on the things that you've had your eye on. And I don't go for the mystery boxes because I've got so many other things, but they do fab mystery boxes if you've not tried the brand as well. But all of the products I've shown you here, so 3 lipsticks, an eyeshadow palette, a highlighter, a bronzer and a blush, in its entirety, I only spent £91. That's how much it came to when it was converted. And I didn't get customs. Now, you never know if you're going to get customs or not when you're ordering from the States. So you've always got to factor in that extra 20%. But even with that, I still wouldn't have been upset with everything that I've got for the money. So I know some of you from the UK do ask me, you know, about shipping from other countries and particularly from the States. So that was my experience on this one. I've bought from the Melt website a number of times. Sometimes I've got customs. I got customs when I bought the Amore Mariposas collection, which was already about $400, and I had the 20% plus the handling fee from Royal Mail for that. That hurt. But generally, I've been fairly lucky. It is a lottery, you just never know. But anyway, I hope that was a little bit helpful, and I hope you like the look. So if you're new to my channel and this is the first look you've seen me do, I don't do neutrals like this too often. I'm generally more about colour combinations and things, but I do enjoy a neutral look now and again, and I've really enjoyed doing this one. So I hope you might consider subscribing if you're new here. And if you're a returning subscriber, thank you so much for your loyalty. It never goes unnoticed. I see the same names all the time in my comments, and it just warms my heart that you're all still here. Like when I'm pretty sporadic with my uploads and I do all sorts of different things, so you never know what you're going to get from me, and you're all still here for me. So thank you so much for that. I hope you're having a lovely day or night wherever you are, and hopefully I'll catch you in the next video. Bye guys.